I don't think there's anything more annoying than struggling to get your guitar in tune. You're sitting there checking each tuning peg, going back to the guitar, fretting things, playing chords, and then still you listen to it, it's out of tune. Now, if you've struggled with this, or if you've been playing guitar for more than 6 months and you still grab your guitar tuner to tune up every time you play, then you need to watch this video. Because in this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 ways to tune a guitar. And the first 2 you may have heard of, but the third one you probably have not. And so I'm gonna reveal some secrets here, some pro tips for tuning. Now I need to explain something first before we get into it. And this is not having perfect pitch. So this is not like hearing a note and going, oh, that's an A, and knowing that right away. That's not really something that you need to be worried about as a guitar player. But what you want to be able to do is be at a party or be somewhere, and if you get handed a guitar and it's horribly out of tune, you can get it in tune with itself. That's what I'm talking about, and then you can play some songs. All right, so let's get started with this first method, which is what I call the 5th fret method. Now, you play the 5th fret on the 6th string, and then you play the string right underneath it, open, okay? So you got 5th fret of the 6th string, and then open 5th string, okay? Now, if these are out of tune, okay, then what you do is you listen for that warbling, and then you tune it up, and you'll see what I did there is I played the 5th fret, and then I actually reached over with my other hand, which is kind of a cheat way of doing it, but you just gotta be careful you don't pull the string, because that can make it go out of tune. Or you play it, and then you try and remember the sound of it, and get it locked in, okay? So then you've got those 2 strings matched to each other, and then what you do is you go down 1 string, and you play the 5th fret on the A string, and then repeat the process. You're gonna play the open 4th string, okay? And you wanna match those. And again, let's say it's sharp. And you bring it down, and you match that right there, okay? It's pretty close. Then you repeat. You go down to the next string, you play the 5th fret, this time on the 4th string, and play the open 3rd string. Again, we're trying to get these notes in what's called unison. So that means they're vibrating at the exact same pitch. Okay? Tune it up here. Pretty close. Now, here's where we get a little change in the pattern. Okay, so we've been 5th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, and then when you get to that 3rd string, you actually play the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then you match that to the open 2nd string. So again, I'll tune this out of tune. So hear that note. Try and match it there as close as you can. And again, you can do that, or you can reach over if you need to. And that's our one variation, okay? Then on the final string, you play the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then match that to the open E. So that's the note E, and then that's a high E string there. So when you're done, you've basically tuned the guitar to itself. Now, I ran into a lot of problems using this method, and I actually still run into problems using this method, which I'm gonna address in this section, but I want you to know that one, and it works for some people. If it works for you, great. Let's get into the second way of tuning the guitar to itself, and this is what's called using harmonics, okay? So for this one, we're gonna play, instead of the 5th fret now, fretting that note, we're gonna play the harmonic. So you do that by just lightly touching the string, hovering over the 5th fret there. You wanna be directly over the fret, not back here. You wanna be right over the fret, okay? So then you get that note, right, which is that note on the 5th fret harmonic, and then you play, it's an E, you play the 7th fret harmonic on the 5th string. Now, the cool thing about the harmonic method is you can have them both ringing and then you can adjust, right? So like, you can listen for that consonance, right? Where they come in unison. So that's a great method. You got 5, 7, okay? Then you repeat 5 on the 5th string, 7 on the 4th string. Now these are harmonics, right? So you can let them ring. And then you've got 5 on the 4th string and 7 on the 3rd string. So the first 3 are all the same. And now the last 2, this is where you have a little variation. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play the B harmonic here on the 7th fret of the low E string, and then match that to the 2nd string. So let's say that's out of tune. And pretty close there. A little flat. And then we have the same thing, 7th fret on the 5th string, and match that to the high E string. Okay, so just to recap, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, then 7 on the low E, B string, 7 on the A string, E string. Now personally, I do like this method better than the 5th fret method because you can let the notes ring over. However, I've found that it's still difficult to get the guitar in tune this way. And what you'll find when you use these methods is you tune each string, okay, I got it, sounds good. Then you go and play the chord, it still sounds out. And then you go back again and round you go in a circle for 20 minutes until you give up and either put the guitar down or you just grab your tuner and follow the green lights until you get it in, which is not using your ear. You're not training your ear at that point. And again, it's sort of like being a grown adult on a bicycle with training wheels. So if you want to learn the best way, then go to johnmcclennan.com/tuning. And I put together this simple PDF guide that shows you a way that I discovered tuning that overnight fixed my problems for exactly what I'm talking about, struggling to tune. And it was just such a weight lifted off my shoulders because I could be anywhere, and I could be at a music store, I could be at a friend's house at a party, and I could grab a guitar and I knew I could get it in tune. So if you need help with this, then go to johnmcclennan.com/tuning and grab this guide. Again, you're not going to find this on the internet. This is my own method that is It's literally like one of the most amazing things you're ever gonna see. So just go to johnmcclennan.com/tuning. Grab that now as my gift to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you might like this one next.